Check it out, a buddy of mine borrowed me this right here. The little buddy, little bitty chainsaw, man. I was surprised. I was like, what? That ain't gonna cut nothing. It's a Bauer 20V lithium little chainsaw there. I'm gonna cut a little stump. I'm gonna check it out, see what it does. Okay, that stump there. Every time I cut the grass, I end up hitting something. I done messed up the deck on my mower. Check it out. I'm gonna give it a try. Try cutting it up, so I don't be hitting it no more. So I got that off right there. I'm hoping to get a little bit more, and then when I'm cutting the grass, I won't be hitting that no more. Not bad, not bad. Not too bad. I won't be hitting that with a mower no more. I mean, it's pretty low. Would like to get a little bit more though. Let's see. That's good enough for that. This vine right here keeps making a big old mess. I got the vines growing all over. I gotta keep trimming the vines. I'm gonna see if I can cut this right here. Let's see, let me give it a cut. Oh, it cut through that vine like nothing, that vine tree right there. That is crazy, it just cut it like nothing. Wow. The other one was a log, that's why it took forever. This vine, it just cut like nothing. Watch this. That is crazy. I didn't think it would work that good. Check it out, man. This is crazy. Yeah, this is always a problem. This vine here is always a problem when I cut this, man. Cut the yard right here. I'm gonna cut it right here, right here, right here. And get this out of the way. This is pretty crazy little tool here. Just a little Bauer chainsaw. I was like, what am I gonna do with that little thing? I thought, you know what? Let me try it out. So I figured I'd try it out and make a video right quick on this. Let's see what I get here. It's hard to see, so let me see if I catch any of this on here. That's crazy. That's crazy, man, but I like this little bitty chainsaw. It's pretty neat, actually. See that? Wow. I just don't want to be able to hit my head and stuff when I'm over here mowing the grass. That's pretty cool because I don't really got to worry about hitting my head anymore with this shit, with this stuff. Basically, this right here I can just yank down. This is just stuff hanging there. What I'm doing here is basically cutting just little pieces that when I'm with the riding mower, I don't hit myself, hit my head and stuff. Pretty good little saw, man. I like it. This is pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a couple more. Cut a couple more right here. Alright, so this actually works pretty nice. It's a Bauer 5Ah 20V little saw there. It runs nice. It actually cut quite a bit. I'll give you a little flash there in a minute. Kids passing by and I can't have kids on YouTube video. Check it out, man. That's pretty nice. They let me borrow that, and when I mow the grass around the street, ain't a life of pain, man, because all them branches sticking down real low. But I got rid of that right now. Check this out. I was able to cut all that with that. Of course, I'll still have that one right there, but that won't be so bad. That one going down right there. I got all this out of the way. This is all hanging right here when I cut grass. It's in the way. But as long as I got the main stuff out of the way. Because I can cut this one too right here. Okay, I don't want to get carried away. This part here hangs pretty low, so I'm just going to cut like this piece. I'm going to leave this part hanging. Just this piece that's sticking out way out there. That'll be much easier to cut the yard now. Oh yeah, I just cut, there we go. I just cut all the little chunks off and I'm ready. I'll mow the grass again. All this won't be in the way. Of course, all this is gonna be in the way. But you can see, look at that. That made a big difference. I'll be able to mow right there without having trouble. I always got to be dodging all those branches and stuff right here when I'm cutting. And all that's gone now.
We got all these branches everywhere now. I should chop them up smaller, so and I got so much stuff to try to drag away and put away. Basically all them I made look pretty small, just trimming them. Now when I come by with the mower, it won't be so bad. Wow, that's crazy, man. I like this. Like, I thought that at first when my buddy told me I could use this, I was like, that ain't gonna do nothing, man. I didn't want it. And then I went in, oh wow, I cut that vine. It was all hanging right here and wrapping all around the trees, and I gotta keep cleaning it up. The vine's dripping like crazy. Anyway, I wasn't gonna borrow it from my buddy because that thing's too small, he didn't do nothing, but it actually works pretty good. Check out this dripping vine where I cut it. I don't know if you can see that water dripping there. That's crazy, man. Looks like the liquid coming out faster too. Oh, yeah, it's starting to come out a lot faster. If anybody knows what causes that, let me know, man. That's crazy. I would think that it wouldn't come out that fast because like I cut it, but you would think if there was liquid in the tree, it would drip downward. This is like coming upwards and coming out of the ground, or coming out of the tree and dripping pretty quick there. That was, of course, from that vine I just cut all this stuff right here. I cut quite a bit. I'm surprised, man, but I'm getting a kick out of that because that looks. That's dripping like that. That's crazy. Get you a better close-up view here. There you go. That's closer. Alright, that's enough for the drip. It looks like it's getting faster though. It looked like it's starting to drip faster. This was so easy to cut. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know if this is part of the tree or part of the vine. pretty crazy, man. That's a pretty good little saw. I like it. I need to stop already. I just keep going and going because it's so neat. Now I got that pile of trees and branches there. Well, it's pile of branches I got to get rid of now. At least I'll be able to cut under here pretty good now. Anyway, here you go. This is the, it says brushless Bauer 20V Lithium. It's a pretty good tool, man. I like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I had told him, no, I don't want to borrow that. That ain't gonna do nothing, but it actually does a pretty good job. Oh wow, I'll be able to mow under this tree from now on pretty easy. I just gotta figure something to do with all them branches. Hey, thanks y'all for watching, man. Subscribe. I got more videos coming up with product reviews and stuff. But check it out. Let me see if I can get you a view back here. I don't know if I got a pretty good view earlier how bad it was. You see I cut that? I cut all that over there. Now I can just drive under there with a mower. That's all the stuff I cut right there, look. That's still dripping over there. But check it out, I was amazed, man. You know what, there's this thing that keeps growing over here. Let me see if I can cut that. That's not in my yard, but it keeps growing this way. No, I'm gonna let it be, man. But check that out, it's wide open now. I can get under there with a riding mower now. That is crazy. Wow. And of course all these vines are gonna die because I just cut the vine, so I won't have all that stuff growing all over, and I gotta be fighting every time I'm cutting the grass. Look at that. I had cut all that before. Look how now when I'm riding the mower, I gotta be fighting all that right there. All that's gonna die and they're not coming back because of this bad boy right here. So we got the little Bauer chainsaw, which I thought wasn't gonna do nothing. But check it out, man. All this right here. I couldn't do this before, look. Too many branches sticking out right here. Now I can ride more around here. You gotta pick up all this. That is crazy. I like this tool, man. I didn't give me something like this. Well, really not, because that's all I had to cut, but still, it's pretty cool. I wonder if I should cut this little bunch right here, sticking out. I gotta dodge that one every time I'm cutting the grass. All the vines holding it up. There you go. Won't be in the way anymore. Took care of that. That won't be in the way anymore. Just all these little branches that are going to be in the way that I got to get rid of. Better cut them up before I return this, man. Just All right, if you're looking for something small, I guess this works. I mean, I won't have to be ducking and hitting the branches and stuff when I'm cutting the grass anymore. Looking at that vine, it's still dripping water. Anyway, later, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my videos, I got more coming. This is on this little bitty chainsaw. Bauer 20V little chainsaw here, battery operated. It's pretty wacky, man. I didn't think it would really do that. I'm still amazed with it. Oh well. Yeah, I'm still amazed. Check it out. I can cut under the tree now without getting all scratched up and my head banged up and everything. Look at that. It's clear. Wow. That's crazy. Alright. Okay, I got it right here by the trampoline. Just to let you know, it's pretty good, man. I was amazed that he cut that good. I mean, like, I wasn't expecting to cut that good. Like I said, when he told me I could borrow that, I was like, getting back to him, I go, you crazy, man? What am I gonna do with that little thing? But this is what I did with that little thing, man. Yeah, actually cut it pretty good. This was all, I'll try to make the before and after pictures, I'll see. But this was all hanging down, as you can see. Cut there, cut there, cut there. That was all hanging down right here, because you can see there's no grass growing there. Cut there, cut there. That was all hanging down right here too. Every time I cut, it's in the way. Cut that big old vine, which now is really running. I'm still gonna have to, I'm gonna look up on that. I wanna know why it's running like that. It's like just dripping fast. But that wraps all around this tree right here, makes a big old mess, and when I'm cutting, it's pretty bad. Look, I cut all those little chunks there. I got it all cut to small pieces and piled up right there. I thought about cutting that, but I'm just gonna let that be, man, because it looks alright like that, I guess. I mean, if they didn't have all these dried up vines and stuff. But check at that, sucker's just still going, man. Anyway, thank you for watching my videos. And like always, I make my videos long, but they're pretty neat to watch. And if you like watching stuff like this, I just find that amazing. Look, it was all that. I cut it up to a little pile right there. And there was actually a bunch, but cut all that, cut over there, cut all that, cut that, cut some over here, cut some over there, cut it all to tiny pieces, put it right there. That water is dripping like crazy. I'm still amazed at that. Yeah, I'm gonna read up on that, see what's going on there. Alright, later. I know I keep saying later, but I'm just freaking out with how that's dripping that water. Subscribe. Go watch my other videos. I got more videos there. And if you need a saw for some small job like that, I mean, that works pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I wasn't even gonna borrow. I told him, no, take that back. That thing ain't gonna do nothing, but it did pretty good, actually. I got that. Cut that little stump over here that my mower always hits. I done messed up actually broke off the tire in my little mower. Cause this little stump that was always right here. There's the pieces right there, you'll see them. But cut that little stump, I'll be able to cut there with a mower now. Bye bye, later. Alright, look at, I got all these trees that were hanging right here. I even cut over here. The county doesn't really mow this grass over here. I usually do it myself, but I went ahead and cut all these branches off too. Check it out. They were all sticking out here when I mow it. Everything's hitting. Of course, you got poison ivy and stuff growing out of it too, but check it out. All these branches are sticking out here, and I'm always hitting it myself, dodging it with the mower and stuff, and they're gone. That little thing works wonders, man. That's crazy. Like I said, that's that back part I was doing earlier. Wish I can now cut around there with the mower without having to worry about dodging all them trees and getting all smacked around and stuff. Now just cleaning the branches and getting rid of all those branches, man. But check it out, that is crazy. It looks nice now. Wow. Can't believe it, man. Alrighty. Like I said, this is the Bauer 20V lithium chainsaw there. But I did right now, the chain was a little loose. All you do is loosen this right here, slide it out, and tighten it back up, and you're good to go. But man, that thing works nice. I can't believe it cut that good. I told you, like at first I told my buddy, I was like, no, take that back home, we're gonna do that little bitty thing. But no, it worked nice. Mowing the grass around this yard is gonna be a lot easier now. Alrighty, thank you for watching.